Hello everyone, this is Anshita Kakuste. Welcome to yet another episode of Connected Series, a venture of Frames Alumni Association. And today we have with us Mr. Shubham Arora. So Shubham Arora, who graduated from mechanical engineering class of 2012 and was placed at Siemens as a graduate trainee engineer. He joined the Power Generation Services Unit as a field engineer responsible for conducting maintenance, repair, and overhauls of large steam and gas turbines across various power plants in Asia, where Siemens turbo machinery was installed. After working about 5 years on the field with specialization in field of vibration diagnostics, he decided to move on and explore other aspects of business for growth, and after some preparation got through Indian School of Business for his flagship one-year MBA postgraduate program in management. For him, ISB was a life-changing experience that allowed him to develop a holistic perspective about business and meet some incredibly talented young minds. At ISB, he was fortunate to come back to Siemens and join its internal consulting arm, Siemens Management Consulting. After an intense couple of years at consulting, he decided to take up a role with Siemens Energy, where he is currently the lead strategic planning and initiatives for its industrial application division and is currently based out of Munich. Thank you so much for giving your time to this, Shubham.
Thank you so much, Anshita.
How was the transition from a mechanical graduate to working in the field services?
Well, it's already been 9 years now, to be honest. So if I look back, it was actually a pretty mixed feeling. So thermodynamics for me was never really my favorite course. So I was a little anxious at the beginning when I got to know that I would be working as a field service engineer, especially with large equipments like gas turbines. A lot of exciting experiences, meeting new people, trying to fix issues, and find new ways to work. But on the other side, at least as a young graduate, it felt it was not a very glamorous role, because when I looked back and saw my peers, they were doing sales and marketing, engineering, designing. So all of those roles felt as if they were in a much more glamorous role. But now when I look back, of course, in hindsight, I do believe I was quite fortunate to actually have that sort of a real exposure very early on. And going back, I would not want to change anything at all.
So what was your plan of action for getting into ISB after completing 5 years of experience on the field?
So after the first 2 or 3 years in field service, I realized that this was not offering me the growth I was looking for. And that led me to start exploring MBA options. Like everyone else, I enrolled immediately for CAT coaching classes. But after the first couple of months, I realized, okay, this is not really working out for me. And I immediately switched over to the GMAT. So that really helped a lot. So all of these three things, a good GMAT score, some extracurriculars from ACNILS, and a rather unique experience at work made a very strong case for my ISB application.
It's a good chance. It's a better chance for you to get into good B schools. So if I am an engineering person who is already in her 4th year, and I want to go abroad, there's only 2 options for me. Either get a job here, either work in India for almost 1.5 years or 2 years, or either do a MIM degree. How do I go about it?
See, I think for any sort of management programs, if you especially want to do it as a postgraduate program, I would at least strongly recommend taking up some sort of work experience prior to the program, because it would be very difficult for you to appreciate the learnings in the class if you haven't really seen things happen first in the real world. And once you have seen and established for yourself the baseline, it's a lot more easier for you to then start connecting it with what you would then be taught in the classroom, because then you would know, had I known this, I could have actually done things differently back then. That's number one. And maybe number 2, the real value of an MBA or in this case the MIM is not just the course itself. It's actually also the environment you are in, where you have a lot of different classmates coming in from all sort of different backgrounds. You also learn a lot from exchanging things with them.
Challenges did you face while pursuing your MBA at ISB? And you can just describe any such incidents if you remember any.
At any MBA program, as I said, you are surrounded by rock stars around you. And I think one of the biggest challenges I at least experienced when I joined ISP was I always felt I was the top of the class, maybe top 2-3%. And that notion or that belief was actually completely shattered when I joined ISP, because what I saw around were 900 talented rock stars who at least in my first opinion were much more incredibly talented than me. And that constantly made me feel that, okay, am I really in the right place? Do I really deserve to be here, etc.? So a lot of self-doubt actually came in. And dealing with that, I think, was perhaps the biggest challenge for me in the early weeks and months. It took a lot of self-reflection, self-introspection to really understand, okay, there is also some value, some very unique value that I bring with me based on my experiences that at least helped me at least get comfortable with who I am, with what do I bring to the class. And that really made life a lot more easier, because then I was no longer trying to be this person who would stand out. If I could just maybe share an example here, I had people in my class who had served in the army for 15 years. I had a classmate of mine who had represented India at the Olympics. So when you have people like those in your class, you start questioning that small award that you won at Agnels. Is it really worth it? And you start comparing yourself, even if you don't want to, with those peers around you. And I think that feeling in itself makes you really feel, okay, am I really in the right place or not?
So while dealing with all of these thoughts, did you come across any sort of person who who motivated you to do better, or did you read any book?
I think there were two books that I would really say helped me a lot in my overall journey post Agnels. One that really helped me get out of this feeling when I was at ISP, and that was the power of your subconscious mind. That actually was an eye-opening book, because it made me realize that there are a lot of notions that I have within myself. One book that really left a lasting impression on me was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I think handling money and understanding importance of money is a true life skill that is unfortunately not taught. And that was my first book that really helped me understand and appreciate how money works. And of course, if I still look back at my MBA, the one person who made a big difference to my overall journey was my wife, because she was actually there with me on campus. And she was the one who was constantly trying to, keep me inspired, keep me motivated as well. She was the one who never really stopped believing in me. So that also helped a lot.
What advice or message would you like to give to any young aspirants pursuing their career, not only just MBA or any sort of field, but everyone? Number
one would be, it's okay to take the road less traveled. At least from my personal experience, when I began as a field service engineer, I did not know if this was really a worthwhile road. But now when I look back, it all made sense. So if I also look at it from what Steve Jobs said, the dots will always connect if you look back. So that's number one. Number two, I think one thing that really helped me in my overall journey that I still feel very grateful for was doing a lot of extracurriculars when I was at Agnels. I think participating in events, fest, all sort of sports, etc., really gives you a very different perspective to things. It of course makes you a well-rounded person as well. And you never really know how these things might, help you out in the longer journey. So, and number three, I think not a lot of people actively reach out for help. A lot of us are actually more than willing to actually help, because we also know that when we were in those days, there were people who actually helped us. So we would be more than happy to also give back.
Thank you so much. This gives a lot of confidence to me as well as people who will be viewing this interview. And I had a great time talking about things with you. Thank you so much for giving your time for this.
Hey, thank you so much, Anshita. I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity, and wishing you all the best as well.